Well, we're about to begin on the wonderful topic of relationships. Can't live with them, can't live without them. Okay, so we start off with every relationship that we have on the earth plane has the potential to become a holy encounter. Your mother, your fathers, your sisters, your brothers, your children, your co-workers, your lovers, your husbands, your wives, not in your life by accident. We are like Jacob in the Bible. We keep wrestling with each other until we awaken to being sinless sons and magnificent daughters of God. You just keep entering into different circumstances with different people, different balloons with different faces on, until we understand the spirit behind all things. Earthly relationships, heavenly encounters. That's what we're here for. I shared that picture with people all over the Northwest. That one about, this is the vertical. This is our relationship to the beloved. And then this part is our earthly relationship with flesh on. And we said the two are meant to become one in an open heart. In an open-hearted extension of ourselves with others. That's what we're here for. Course in Miracles says, when you meet anyone, remember, it is a holy encounter. As you see him or her, you will see. As you treat him or her, you will treat yourself. As you even think of him or her, you will think of yourself. Never forget this. For in another, you will find yourself or lose yourself. He goes on to say it this way in the book, One Soul, One Love, One Heart. Same thing. He says this. Again and again, we will be reminded of this fundamental principle. The key to healing our relationship with others lies in recognizing that every aspect of our life is related to every other aspect. Every relationship is related to all other relationships, including our relationship with ourselves. How we see ourselves determines how we react to the way other people see us. How we treat ourselves will determine how we react to the way others treat us. How we treat our planet will determine how our planet treats us. Could pause for a while on that one, yes? When we live in oneness, we begin to recognize there is no way to be happy when we close our hearts to other human beings, because there's no way to negate our connection to them. No matter how difficult or unworthy other human beings may seem to be, we're still connected to them. Finally, finding happiness in life requires that we find a way to be at peace with this reality. Changing our perception about relationships allows us to embark on an evolutionary journey of transformation. When Jesus said, love God with all your heart, soul, mind, and body, and love your neighbor as yourself, he was saying that because there's nobody else here but the one self. One ego, one presence, one spirit. That's what we are. And as you give to one, you give to yourself. As you treat another, you are treating yourself. If we get nothing else out of this whole series, is that every gift I'm given is first received by me. Every gift I'm projecting onto someone else is first received by me, because there's nobody else here but us. And everything, every relationship is a call to awaken to that awareness. I just got back from the Brighton Bush retreat. Leslie and J.D. were there. Hearts open wide, in love with 80 other beings who by Sunday, and it happened, didn't it? We were one. One spirit, one soul, one body, in the presence of love. But then we came down the mountain, and I'm sure you've come down the mountaintop, yeah. Oh boy, there's spirit with flesh on, once again irritating and annoying the hell out of me, yes? Again, there it was again, it is again, right? That's what we have here. But when I came down from the mountain and I got the news of Joplin, Missouri, and what had happened with that tornado, 3/4 of a mile wide, came through, my heart, my compassionate heart, compassion means to suffer with, was just huge. I was just on the side of the road, And then when I heard that Unity of Joplin, I know that church. Have you guys been there? Imagine with me now, we're sitting here and all of a sudden the sirens go off. And we go in the basement and 4 minutes later we come back upstairs and there's nothing here. It's all been erased. Can you imagine what that would be like? That's this plane, by the way. It's called impermanence. It's a place of change. You know, you never know. It's subject to change without notice. That's not a threat. It's an awakening, a call to be awake. All the things that we possess and are obsessed about can be changed in a moment. But when the people came upstairs, they were still there. Your spirit will always be there. And they held hands and did a blessing that the love that they shared was what the ministry was all about always anyway. And that love would recreate another form to worship in. Wow, what a teaching. I'm sitting with a friend who's going through chemotherapy right now up in Squim. Haven't seen her in a long time. And something's happened with the cold that she got where she's lost her hearing, can't hear anything. And I'm holding her hand and we're listening with the heart and conversing in a much deeper way from the center of the chest to what really needs to be said. And we hear it and connect with each other. From the heart. Yeah. Where we're connected. Holding Gio, little doggy Gio, who was a puppy about the same age Havasu was, 8 years old. Gio's got some sort of back thing going on. We don't know what it is. They've done MRIs and CAT scans and the whole bit, but Gio's got back pain. And when you pick Gio up, and Gio used to be able to jump 10 feet in the air, you have to be very delicate with her. And I'm holding her and I'm putting my hand on her back and just sending her waves of healing energy. Do you feel that? That's that healing energy that comes when our heart is open wide, when we feel everything and open ourselves up to all possibilities, not closing ourselves off to any possibility. The level of the heart, we are connected. At the level of spirit, we are connected. There is only one self united with its creator, at one with every aspect of creation, and therefore limitless in power and in peace, but many different balloons. Some shapely balloons. Oh, you have balloons. I like your balloons. Oh, look at that balloon. Oh, look, the balloon is getting old. Oh, look, the balloon is deflating. It's all an illusion here. But the spirit is the same for all of us. So there's this guy who I was staying at a house in Seattle, and he's in a new relationship with someone he's loved for 25 years, and he's trying to figure out how to keep the relationship alive. They're in the romance stage. Who doesn't love the romance stage? And he wants to know from me, Mr. Soulmate Man with the same person for 40 years, well, how do you do it? You seem to still be in love with each other. You call a lot on the phone. How do you do it? You must be the expert. Give me the concept so I can think about how to do this. And I said, there's no one concept I can give you, except that we have died and been reborn again at least 100 times. It's a constant resurrection, crucifixion, resurrection. Constantly. The only thing that's been constant has been these teachings. That's the only thing that's kept us together. Otherwise, I would have left her a long time ago. She would have left me. We never would still be in this relationship if it weren't coming back to dying and being reborn. Again and again and again and again and again, over and over. And over again, how many times must I die and be reborn? Over and over again. Particularly if you're in relationship with flesh on. It's a tough go. One of the things that I decided very early on in my relationship with Maureen, we were in our 20s, and I had a lovely picture of us that didn't come out, but it was when we got married. And God, was I ever that young? Good Lord, we look like we're babies. We just met. I love the kiss over there. Oh, please, keep kissing. That's what this is about. I can't wait to see my baby. I love being alone. I've really enjoyed it, but I'm ready to be back with Maureen. I need someone to tell me what to do. I'm not sure what to do. So very early on in my relationship with her, I decided that there was no better than here. That when your there becomes a here, you just create another there that looks better than here. he is no better than she. When your she becomes a he, you just create another someone that looks better than who you're with. That is the human tendency, to want to stay in the romance stage. And Hollywood pushes that we should always be in that, oh baby, you're the one. There's no one but you. Oh, touch, sparks, oh, everything flying. Oh, please. That wears off. Love at first sight is easy to understand. It's when two people have been looking at the same old balloon for all these years, and you go, I still love you. That's when power comes. So what's saved us has been our relationship to these practices and teachings. And a Course is very direct in saying that, A Course in Miracles, if you want miracles, if you can transfer all of this onto the most difficult relationships with someone with flesh on, you can then transfer it more easily to other human beings. So I love how demanding the Course is that we stay awake in our life. And it says this in some of my favorite parts of A Course in Miracles, or A Course in Miracles, depending on how your day is going. It says, what are the levels of teaching? Each teacher-learning situation involves a different relationship in the beginning, although ultimately the goal is always the same, to make of the relationship a holy one, where each can see the son and daughter of God as sinless. No one cannot find something to learn from another. So there's no one who cannot be taught by you or who you cannot teach. However, from the practical point of view, the plan says you cannot meet everybody. So there are very specific contexts and contacts to be made by each teacher of God. There are no accidents in God's plan for salvation. Those who are to meet will one day meet again. So it goes very clearly into all the different levels of relationship. Because we think, oh, it's just the hot-fired one. It's the one with my soulmate. If I don't have one, oh, I must be missing something. No, it's with every relationship you have with everyone. It starts off with the casual encounter. There is no such thing as a casual encounter. Everyone you're meeting, you've met before. At the level of the most casual encounter, as you treat him or her, you are treating yourself in that moment. You either lose yourself or awaken to yourself. I'm at the airport. I've traveled from here to there. I get to Charlotte, and it says Wilmington. I say, oh, gee, flights are going really well. I'm going to get home. I'm tired. I'm jet lagged. I can't wait to get back to my house. And it says the flight is delayed to Wilmington. Flight 3002, whatever the heck it is. Okay, I got that. I'll just walk some more mindfully. Mindfully, bless, open door, bless. Go back, another delay. It's delayed again, second time. Okay, second time. Okay, I can do this. Bless. Casual encounter, love everyone, special. See everybody's heart. I go back again. It's like it's delayed again. Now it's been 3.5 hours now at the Charlotte airport. And I'm losing my sense of holy encounter, casual, lovey-dovey, huggy everybody. And how I know I'm losing it is when I go to the woman behind the counter and I said, is this flight actually going to Wilmington today? Is this actually going to be happening today? And then I knew, well, we've lost connection with the heart of God. It's back to me again. So she looks at me and the look on her face is wonderful because there's a holy child of God going, oh, I'm so interested in your meaningless problems. I can care less that you're being impatient. I have never seen this before. Get over it. And so I go to sit down, and as I'm sitting down, stewing this casual encounter, there's a little boy. He's about 3 years old, and he's 15 hours waiting to go see his grandpa, and he's playing with this ball like this. Oh, watch the fire there. And he looks at me and he can see the sour puss on my face and goes like this. Like come on now, he says, do you want to play? Do you want to play or you just want to be grouchy? We're going to be here for 2 more hours anyway, so why not play? And so all of a sudden I've gone from agonizing pain to play mode. And you know what? The time went by. We just played. And all of a sudden, time to get aboard the Wilmington flight. I must have been there for an hour and a half playing. You see the difference? That became a whole encounter. Just by switching from attack to play mode. That's the first level of teaching. The second is a more sustained relationship in which two people come together for an intense period and then appear to separate. As with the first thing, there are no accidents. If you're not done with the job yet, the work yet of healing all different parts of yourself, well, guess what? You're going to meet that again. And again and again and again. There's no such thing as an end to a relationship that God has with the beloved. And everyone here is part of the circle of that. So it may appear to separate, but if it's not complete yet, you come back and experience it in some other form. And then the third one is actually the most annoying part. It's very annoying. It's annoying reading this. I'm going to annoy you. Actually, I got a new name now. I'm called Shri Annoy. Shri Annoy you. Shri Annoy you. My daughter made that up, actually. Dad, you are so annoying. And I said, well, I want to rename myself to Shri Annoy you. I'm here to annoy you with these teachings. The third level of teaching occurs in relationship with once they're formed are lifelong. There are teacher-learning situations in which each person is given a chosen learning partner who presents him or her with unlimited opportunities for learning. These relationships are generally few because their existence implies that those involved have reached a stage simultaneously in which the teacher-learning balance is actually perfect. This does not mean they necessarily recognize this. In fact, they generally do not. They may even be quite hostile to each other for some time, perhaps for life. Yet, should they decide to learn it, the perfect lesson is before them and can be learned. And if they decide to learn that lesson, they become the saviors of teachers who falter and may even seem to fail. No teacher of God, and that's you and me in this room, can fail to find the help that they need, ever. When you're willing to see each relationship as an opportunity to awaken, and then you're doing the work you're here to do. That's what you came for, to remember and to awaken to our oneness, and keep re-encountering and counting again and again all those different places with you that you're still holding back. People would look at Maureen and I, and they would think, oh, you guys are so lucky, you know, you have this relationship with each other, I don't have my soulmate, you know. But the truth is, you have a father, right? Everybody here have a father? Yeah, you do. I can think of him. His name is Alvin. Alvin is my father for the lifetime. Whether I like it or not, he's not with me now. He's still my place of forgiveness in me. It's still there. I work with him to forgive. I have him. I've got one mother. Her name is Rhoda. Rhoda's self-centered. Rhoda's growing older. Rhoda's not so self-centered anymore. The self that you truly are, in the end, comes out either way. Rhoda's my mom. She did the best that she could. My work with forgiving is with Rhoda. She's my mother. I have 2 children. I had 3. One's not here now, but she's still here in my heart. These are my kids. Come heck or high water. They're my children, right? I love them. I work with healing my relationship with them and my 2 grandchildren. I don't have to work so hard with them. But you see, when you look at what you're focusing in on, you decide that, well, this is the one. I don't need to find another. If I can transfer all of these teachings onto this most annoying person, this irritation in my life, then what will I be able to do as I boundlessly go forth and drive my taxi, or do my taxes or faxes, or do whatever your work is? If you can work with the most difficult situation, there's the possibility for grand awakening. Maureen and I, when we met at 22, 23 years old, we were very different personality types. We were not the same at all. Maureen, as you know, comes from a family of 11, the oldest of 11. You know how Maureen is. I mean, she can do it and do it better than you, and she knows how to organize it. She's good at putting things together. And the first time I went to her house, there were like 30 people in this room. You guys know big families. And I'm sitting there dizzy. I'm just twirling and whirling. Look at all these people. I can't stand this. I felt almost nauseous in the presence of all these people. And Maureen is sitting right in the middle with a big grin on her little 22-year-old face, completely in bliss. Happy as could be. The more the merrier. She wanted to invite all of them to come with us camping. I couldn't stand being in the room another 5 minutes. This was Maureen. And I'm a middle child, duh. You know, and I come from Alvin and Rhoda, who thought the moon, the sun, and the stars set in their navel. They believe the whole world should bow down and worship them. The apple does not fall far from the tree. I like my personal space. I like Richard and me. Not me time, good time, me time. But me time, me. I want you to love me. I want you to approve of what I'm doing. And then if you leave after that, I really could care less. And that was basically me. So we were very different people. Different people. And yet I'm telling you, over 40 years, that's only a story now. I've become someone who loves to be with people now. We've lived in community for many of the years that we were together. And Maureen has learned how to be by herself. And not always have to be the one who's in charge. We've learned from each other what we needed to learn about ourselves. And every relationship provides you with that exact mirror of what you most need to learn about yourself is being reflected back at you in another. I don't know who that is for you, but you know who they are. Because usually they're the people who irritate you the most. They are your greatest teachers. And by the way, you are someone's personal irritation. They're in some church service now forgiving you. You know they are. You know you're so irritating. You don't think you are, but you are, and I know you because I know me. The buck stops here. Nothing happens next. I'm not saying stay in an abusive relationship. If you hear me saying that, you cancel, cancel, cancel. Not until you run away from that one. But most people leave way too soon and want to stay in the romance stage forever. And the truth is, that's not the way it is here. I don't need a zero body fat version. I'm happy with the one that I have, thank you. And I'm using my mother, my father, my sisters, my brothers, this church. Everywhere I go, gee, the same people keep showing up at every church I go to. What's that about? All the people who irritate me the most, they're in every church I go to. I have a different name. All the things I don't like to do, I don't like to do here either. Gee, what's that about? And whether it's 30 or 60 or 800, it doesn't seem to matter. I'm still just as irritated by the same things. Oh, they must be my lessons. Duh. Hello. Here it is again, and again, and again, and again. The opportunity. I just recently watched Notebook with James Garner. If you've seen Notebook with James Garner, it's a wonderful story about this couple that's been together for 60. How many years has your family, your mother and father, been together, you said?
66.
66 years. I think they were together that long as well, too. And it's about him trying to help her. She has dementia. And by the way, we all have dementia while we're here. We're all forgetful of our divine nature. We're all suffering from what A Course in Miracles calls cosmic amnesia. We don't know who we are. We need to wake up. That's what we're here for, to help each other wake up to who we are. And there's just this incredible scenes in the movie that are so moving. I remember one of them when they were very young, and he's reading the story so she can remember again, so she can wake up again. And they were very young, and it reminded me so much of Maureen and I. And they're pushing each other. You know, you just ignore me, push, and then push back, and Maureen pushed back at me, and I pushed back at her, and I kept thinking, that's what we've been doing for all these years, pushing each other's butts. Push back, push this, push back. You know, everybody's bothering you. Guess what? Because everybody is you. You're pushing it yourself. So you keep seeing that. Push back, push back. And then it's like at one scene, amazing moment, when she goes, I don't want to be with you, though all we do is fight. And he said, do you think anything's going to be easy in our relationship together? It means we know why we're here. And we're going to continue to not get overwhelmed by the slings and arrows of outrageous earthly fortune and misfortune. We're going to stay here and go deeper into the well of our being until we can see each other as the holy sons and daughters of God that we are. Nothing by accident. All part of the divine awakening that's happening through your relationship with flesh on. And there's one particular scene where his children are saying, Dad, come home with us. Mom doesn't remember. Come home with us. And he says, your mother is my home. And because she's forgetting who she is, I'm going to remember for her. When someone's forgetting who they are, you remember for them, because God is constantly remembering the truth for all of us. That's the bottom line of all relationships with flesh on. To keep remembering and re-remembering over and over and over again. No matter how bad he was or she is or you are, behind that veil is a wake-up call. Behind that veil is an opportunity to practice the presence in incredible ways. So let's take a look at a lesson summation as we end up our little chit chat here. Relationships are cosmic glue, sticky stuff. Every relationship we have on this plane has the potential to become a heavenly encounter. Your mother, your father, your sister, your brothers, your children, your co-workers, your lovers, your husbands, your wives, your Democrats, your Republicans, your Tea Party people are not in your life by accident. All of them are here for one purpose, to awaken. When you meet anyone, this is tough. I don't like this. Remember, some people just don't deserve it. And that doesn't mean you don't get powerful with them. Doesn't mean you don't say, hey, you know, wait, whoa, no. You know, it doesn't mean you don't have boundaries. It means you see behind this ridiculous situation is a son or a daughter of God giving you the opportunity to wake up. As you see him or her, you'll see yourself. You'll forget this in others. You find yourself or lose yourself because there's only one self. The next one. The key to healing our relationships with others lies in recognizing every aspect of our life is related to all other aspects. Every relationship is related to all other relationships. How we treat ourselves will determine how we react to the way others treat us. How we treat our planet will determine how our planet treats us. Do you know, I believe that if in an instant enough of us woke up to that truth with our planet, that the planet within 10 years would heal itself of all of its ills. If we got that this was what we were doing to the planet in our awakening to that, would begin to restore itself. A miracle would happen very quickly. And I believe we're headed towards that, by the way. It's going to happen. Our task is not to seek for love, but merely to find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against yourself. That's what we're here for. So let's take a few moments just to close our eyes and open up our hearts. Let's just be present with these wonderful teachings and ask the beloved within us to go deeper into the well of our own being as we think of a relationship that we know pushes our buttons. You know who that person is. And you know you're that same person for that person. Open up your heart and feel them in a bigger way. Here is another holy child of God. Through this experience, I'm given the opportunity to awaken, to love God and love the neighbor who's part of myself. So this particular series, we open up into a deeper relationship with others, opening up a doorway to a deeper relationship with ourselves. And so today, as we walk the planet, we'll let the casual encounters that we have the opportunities to not see others as separate from us, but part of the one self, the one spirit, the one presence. If we're in a relationship that's been fairly hot and appears to have separated, know that if we need to continue our work with that person in awakening to the grace of love, it will come back to us again in a different form, maybe even in a different lifetime. And if you're in that one with the one who you know is the one, and let's use it to awaken to the one. One soul, one spirit, one planet. There's nobody here but us. Stop waiting for it down the line. It's right here, and right now. Now open up your eyes and know nothing happens next. This is it. Let's come home together. Namaste.